there, in this video I'm going to show you 2 simple methods to transfer a photo to wood. And trust me when I say that if this lady can do it, then so can you. The first thing you'll need is a photo, or in my case, photos, you'll want to transfer. I hopped onto Google Images and selected a few pics of Mando and Grogu for this project. Before we do anything else, it's important to decide how big we need to print the images, so grab the wood you are using and measure it. This will prevent you from wasting paper and ink like I did. To resize your photo, you'll need some kind of photo manipulation program. I use GIMP because it's free, and I'm really fond of free things. In GIMP, I opened up a new file and changed the dimensions to the size of the wood I was using. This worked better with the images that were the same orientation as the wood. For example, landscape or portrait. Alternatively, if you don't want to deal with this step, you could cut your word to size once you print your photo. You will need to do this for either transfer method. For the first transfer method, you will need some matte Mod Podge. Print off the image you want. It should be noted that I'm using an inkjet printer. However, from what I've read, this should work with laser printers too. Take your piece of wood and paint some Mod Podge over the surface where you will be applying the photo. Then carefully lay the photo face down onto the Mod Podge. Then either press and smooth the photo with your hands or a roller. Now comes the hardest part of this method. You need to leave them to dry for 24 hours. I know! It's difficult, but I believe in you. In the meantime, because we're impatient beings, let's try method 2 while we wait. For the second method, you will need to glue some wax paper shiny side up to printer paper. This will prevent jams in your printer. It's important for this that you mark a page and print a test page to see which side of the page your printer prints on first. Place your wax paper into the printer, making sure to have the wax side facing the side the printer will print on. Print your photo onto the wax paper. Now you have 5 minutes before your ink dries, so you'll want to work relatively fast. Carefully align the print to the wood you're transferring on, then press the image onto the wood. And then run a roller or your hand over the paper to press it down. Alternatively, you can press the wood onto the image if you feel like that will give you more control. Then lift the page off the wood without shifting the page, or it will smear your hard work. Be careful that once you start pressing the image down that you follow through and don't lift it back up. Otherwise, the image will transfer partially and you'll end up with superimposition or holes in your transfer. Then step back and admire your work, and then make some more because it was stupid fun. You'll want to leave these transfers to dry for a while. The tutorial I read said 30 minutes, however I noticed you pick up ink onto your fingers after that time. I attempted to seal one of my transfers with Mod Podge and smeared the image. Another one I sprayed with acrylic sealer in an attempt to prevent the ink transfer. I felt the best option was to leave them to dry for a while, overnight even, and then decide if you need to protect them or not. While we wait, here's a nitro break. After the Mod Podge has dried overnight, we need to remove the paper from the transfer. Either soak the wood in warm water or place a wet rag soaked in warm water over the paper. The key here is to get the paper completely wet. Next, carefully rub away the wet paper from the wood. It's important to note that if you rub too hard or too long, you'll start to rub off the transfer. I noticed at some point I had to stop even though I felt as though there was still paper on the wood. Also, if you want to avoid a gross, kind of disgusting paper mess, stick to method 2 and the wax paper prints. Once you're satisfied with the paper removal, wait for the wood to dry. I sped up this step with a heat gun. Then you can paint a coat of Mod Podge over the image to protect them. Now admire your craftiness. I love how vintage these looked. I ended up turning 2 of the transfers into notebooks with Coptic stitch. I also painted the edges on a transfer I made onto a wooden panel I got from the dollar store. My son claimed this one for his room. And my daughter requested the Grogu transfer just the way it was. I hope you enjoyed this video and you have fun making gifts for your friends and family, or for yourself because that's definitely okay too. Don't forget to smash that like button or subscribe for more nerdy craft fun. My name is Pam and this is Total Pamarchy, the craft channel with a little anarchy. Until next time, watch this video and Nitro and I will see you later. Bye!